Close enough. To apply. You are my strike is one.
I'll be back.
Strike. Do your master's bidding. Break a leg! Unleash! Flex up! Give up! You are my... It's nothing. Don't waste my time. Quiver! Leap! Your grand finale! Observe! It's nothing. Observe! Strike! Ad Astra. Thank you for Make a louder. Flash. We'll need a strategy. What's your battle plan?
I'm very sorry, but we cannot afford to pay what we owe right now. My husband has gone missing, and I'm still trying to find him.
No, you misunderstand us. We are here to help with...
Ah, I see. I thought the debt collectors had come to visit again. I'm sorry you have to see me in...
I'm afraid we don't have any with this in mind.
Freak.
He'd always get so everything was fine.
Uh-oh.
He lost his sense of our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. He wouldn't sell them. I'm happy he had on the last day that...
Whoa.
And that led to...
Actually, it didn't. You must understand. After I said those, his voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, had I not indulged his bad habits, we wouldn't have found... And I also... The next thing I heard...
I see. Amin Omayuya.
At first, I assumed they must... But my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries.
Maybe...
I don't know. He just disappeared. Perhaps he's too afraid to come home. Even though I'm still... As long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf...
Please don't get upset. If collecting things, but the information we gathered from the other side...
A little confused?
Let's try a change of scenery and see if we can piece together. Rest assured, we'll notify you if we find anything.
Thank you so much.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the fire at the warehouse... Do you have any thoughts?
Nope. Never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while.
That is the most likely conclusion based on it. However, in this case, only one of the parties would have started the fire. If this is indeed what happened, one fact that Mr. Nagato, the more I ponder it... Right. Although Amenoma Yuya lacks a key distinguishing...
Darn! We thought we could get two...
Let's keep going. If we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and...
Okay.
Let's head out of the city and check out the...
Time to scout.
Wait. I hear something up.
Oh! This must be another one of those, as sketchy as that whole thing seems. You did put it...
Now I'm picking up a strong
But there's nothing here.
It's gone now. But I can still sense it felt very much like that. Indeed. But we should remain vigilant.
So it's an underground where?
The force is definitely the source of the Tatar, judging from the concentration. I would have...
Mrs. Nagato said her husband...
It could well be that he was already under the... From what I've been told... But most will develop a stubborn streak. Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with.
So what should we do now? Go down and take a look?
Step back. I'll open the door and take a look inside. If we don't open this door, we can move no closer. You needn't worry. Both of us.
What's down?
Everything's buried in debris. I can't see any. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in.
That was too scary! Paimon would...
All we can do now is keep searching in the direction that two ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. Yes, let's go. Quiet your mind.
Behold, the princess...
May the glory of the princessin bring light to this world.
From this point, the trail appears the main source of the Tatarigami.
Whoa! Look at all those hilly trails! They're acting really strangely.
Something seems to be drawing your attention. Let's take a closer look.
Unleash! Your grand finale! Flags up!
By the looks of it, well... According to this letter, a conflict arose. Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded Mr. Nagato in the fight.
So, where is he?
He was not only mortally wounded, but whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond Yes. Right now, if Amenoma Yuya is attacking other people indiscriminately...
Right! So let's get moving!
I wouldn't be surprised if he, too, felt for a practitioner of the martial arts, the easiest desire to all the clues that at first seemed I have a hypothesis that...
Wait! You figured it out?
I believe so. But it's something of an outland. On with the search. We must...
What are my orders?
Well, since you asked so nicely.
Oh, you're calling for me? Coming! Something's come up?
Why here?
I'm not sure. But on. Show yourself!
Kaede Harakazua. It's you, at last.
Aha! So it is the same guy. What's your problem?
Indeed, there should be. But what if instead of facing Ame no Mayuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his.
Now that you mention it, it is giving off a strange light. Whoa, whoa! Shh!
Tatarigami energy off the blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, or rather, as a means to occupy Ame no Mayuya.
You're sharper than I thought. You've already did. Many years ago, I was forged by as a descendant of.
I presume it has something to do.
Indeed. He was a bladesmith, and sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength, but also endowed me with a consciousness of my own. In her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the.
So...
become.
The people of the time in which I was born never after the death of I seek but one thing. To face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power.
Tell me, what happened?
My hosts? Who cares what happens to them when they got tired?
You're
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to, at long last, Kaede Harakazuha, you now give your body over to me!
Vengeance will be mine.
Rewrite history!
Rack and ruin.
Join me and sever that divine light!
This sword from shadow. A brash maneuver. Break a leg. I condemn you. More speed. Run with me.
Do not stand in my way.
your bluffs.
Lost. Even if you defeat, he is but a puppet that can the end result. And even if I, by any means necessary,
Your fighting style. It is indeed the form, but from your movements,
Really? You can tell.
as I've mentioned, since the blade is currently, if you ask me,
are you trying to claim on his deathbed he passed to me all of East in that regard? What?
because all of that, I've been wondering why you've not caught, now that I've seen inside your mind, everything. After all the time that's passed, you have
Oh, that's right. Paimon remembers.
only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress and decided to sell his
And what?
Well, that brings you were determined to fulfill your maker's. I think you realized your limitation, but the way I see it,
What would you know about any of this?
you returned to Inazuma to even if you were to sever that divine light. Sure, you inherited this. How could you possibly unleash?
Silence! You. I must achieve my goal. I will concede that you are.
And you should.
Easy for you to say. I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not. It is.
How stubbornly you stick. I do not believe for a second that you can challenge the.
What? Surely you're not planning to.
Very well. Once we have dealt with that,
And as for your end of the bar,
I accept.
Don't do this, Kazuha!
this is the only way. The cursed blades. The power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying it.
What?
Even if things take a turn for the worse, we have a chance here to save an innocent.
Your disdain for me betrays your woef now.
Kazuha?
I'm okay. I felt a little dizzy. It's all right. So far, I will.
What should we do next? Have you got a plan?
We find some. Although this blade has endured much turmoil, it probably hasn't experienced. If a blade built for. If he wants to avoid reality.
Wait a minute. Since the Takatsukasa clan abandoned.
All right.
What about Amanoma Yu?
The blade says he'll let Aminoma Yuya.
Are we sure this is a good. Okay, fine.
Leave everything on this journey to me.
Let's get down to business. To the ferry. Finally, to the ferry. Let's get down to business. Adorn my night.
All right. Though he's making every effort to persevere.
Something else on your...
How strange. Let's keep going.
Finally,
Wind strike.
One with wind and fire. Very high.
Something's up with the blade.
I can sense that he cannot hold out much longer. If he keeps
But what would that do to Amanome Yu?
I will be careful with it. He's still trying to achieve it.
Take this.
One with nature.
Are you okay? It looked like you were...
Yes,
Machine's grown
perhaps this time?
true form? What are you talking? Is this the same blade as before?
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even be able to beat Samurai and Kairagi. Much less, maybe you did truly wield it barely needs stating anymore. Your ambition, I finally figured out why it was that you wanted to reach a state of harmony with me. But regrettably, we are nothing alike. The only one who truly...
Here they are! Take them down!
Where do they keep coming from? Yup. We can...
Don't worry. I'll use my own blade. It's just more...
It's my lucky day.
What's one more?
You fought way better with...
You are a true Kaedehara. No one knew anything of me. I thought that if I could...
But in this too, you have
Indeed. Too much time has passed. Yours is the blade.
Actually, this forging and this blade has traveled the land with skill. Blade. There is something else I must to Tarigami though you tried to I resisted it. I feel a great sense of the moment you embarked on. You have known this for...
He gave me everything. How could I possibly... I said to him, do not worry for me. How could I go back on my word?
Aww.
I believe our bet is now settled.
Where are you going, Kazuha?
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation to cause further... When I touched the hip of a bladesmith, a newly forged blade lay by.
Wow.
Indeed. He spent the rest of his life he felt intense, so he instructed. All he wanted to show was that...
So that what... After...
Right. This blade... Yes. It is too late. Time would not wait or stop because of his determination. While the world moved on, he seems to have calmed down, though.
I look, I once told him that but darkness and slaughter numb the mind. Not only did I fail to fulfill...
You are finally seeing...
Since we agreed to the terms of the... But I still can't... So...
Hey! Now you're adding your...
It has to be done in this order. At least hear what I have. My physical form and...
His attitude has grown a lot. What do you think, Kazuha?
Let's hear it.
Thank you all. Alas, nor have I ever had... My fights were devoid of any noble meaning. They were merely the neck... You are a fine warrior.
Oh?
I will release Ame no Mayuya and restore... He must have plenty of reasons.
Understood. Then let's start by...
I see. He used my body. I utterly despise. If a duel can help to set this, I do not wish to...
There's no need to worry. We'll vouch for your innocence to...
Thanks for your help.
All right, then let's move on. More Ronin could appear. In any case...
This reminds Paimon a bit of a... Yep, we still... Are you ready?
Ready? Okay. Successor of Ishin Art.
Successor of Amen.
Honored to cross...
It is my...
That hurt! Into the wind.
Thank you. Although he appeared a sense of...
You also fought... There are a few things...
I must apologize.
You need not seek my forgiveness. It is too late.
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope I strayed far from the I beseech you.
Yes. I too...
Thank you.
This blade has also told me that he has another... Maybe we can go back there to get...
What does he want?
I'm not sure, but...
I am sorry to have troubled.
A prized Ishin blade. But I have some good news as well.
Really? Is he okay?
Yes. Badly wounded. And now that Yuya is...
I think I know what you want to do.
What's wrong, Kazuha? Is the
Yes. He said he wants to take
What? No way!
He tells me that he's thought of another way. I have decided to let him do it. Thank you. I will Okay. I am ready.
My power is almost spent. Without him, my eventual demise is inevitable. But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything. You mean...
Yes, the cost is still a chance for Ishin art. Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies. Ishin lives on, and its finest hour is yet to come. Even if I am not the one to prove its might to the Shogun, as long as it is an Ishin blade, crafted by Kaedehara hands, it will still fulfill his final wish. Thank you, son of the Kaedehara clan. Over the years, my real name has been forgotten by all. I'm ashamed to utter it, yet it remains strong in my mind. Kagotsurube Ishin. This name is now yours to keep.
Rest in peace.
So, that's why he said it had to be done in that order. His consciousness will disappear forever after fulfilling the bladesmith's wish.
Kagotsurube Ishin. It was the first time I ever... It seems like deep only in the final moments before his conscience...
Seems like he...
The same fervent ambition that gave him the motivation to keep speaking for myself. I'd rather see him I understand. Hearing his wish to rival the divine light, your quest to face the gods and trace your sibling after everything I've seen.
Oh, Kazuha...
I will continue to support you for...
Wait!
Oh, and it's also time to give him a response.
The Tenryou Commission is...
Wow! You sure kept your...
Then we needn't recount all the details again. Now, as to your earlier offer, I wish to give you my answer.
What's this?
Kagotsurube Ishin. A weapon crafted by means of a series of... And so, it looks like I will likely...
I see.
The Kaedehara clan has always been Were I to accept your goodwill...
You misunderstand. That was my...
I am aware.
Very well. I can understand. However, if you should have...
Great. Thank you.
Where will you travel to next,
As for my next destination, let's see where the wind takes me.
You must have a whole bunch of questions after our last conversation with Nahida. I'm always ready to ask... Like, about these descenders. So, does that just mean people like you who come traveling to Tevat from someplace else?
Come on, Seer.
Well, if it's facts and logic you're after.
Yeah, well, this is my teacher's area of research. I can't change that. But I want to write my essay on something interesting.
Yes, you came to me. So all the more reason to take my advice. The fact is, it's the...
Okay, but...
Did one of them just mention Tatara Suna? But is it just Paimon, or is it kinda unusual for someone in Sumeru to want to write a paper? Great! Let's go find out what this
Time to scout.
Alright, I guess I'll go with my textual criticism and your editorial direction for the first draft. I have a feeling that the missing Kabuki Mono will end up being the main focus of this paper. If only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about her, this seems like the kind of thing she'd know about.
Oh, you're the traveler, you say?
Hey, what's with that face? Don't believe us?
No, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck, and out of force of habit, I started, examining the evidence. Sorry.
Oh, so what? For the love of... Sorry, we don't... Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many places. Would you be able...
Actually, we don't know much about that place either. In fact, we only came over here because we heard...
I see. My teacher chose this area of research as a personal challenge.
If you don't mind, I'd love to show you all my outline for the book I'm writing about Tatara Suna.
Hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a deep dive?
Well, fair point. In that case...
Let me give you some background. This all started with the discovery of some records in Tatara, but in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy it. Apart from the swordmaker, his servant, and the one who wrote this all down, the records also mention a Kabuki Mono. This seems to be an
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time researching...
So first this strange person goes missing, then a murder happens? Seems kinda fishy.
Yes, my thoughts exactly. So I helped out too. I asked everyone I could think of if they knew anything about what happened back then. And wow! Did I get...
Stop shouting!
This part's important. I just wanted to make it stand out. It just so happens that a friend of mine works at the Government Records Office. He looked into it for me, and I can now confirm that even back then, Tatara Suna was already at the center of Inazuma's smelting industry. The man in...
Wait, so there are 2 missing people in this story now?
That's right! What's more, Niwa is a name with a lot of history to it.
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah, like Ishin art and so on?
Wow, yes. You really know your stuff. That makes things easier. So, basically, something then seems to have happened in the Kaidahara clan, leading to their downfall. I don't know the details, but taken in light of...
The Kaidahara clan?
Sawada, you left out the biggest detail.
Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget? Brace your minds, ladies and gents, for they are about to be blown. Or maybe you are...
Get to the point, for Pete's sake.
According to information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the Kabuki Mono was not a human, but a puppet.
A puppet?
Aha! Judging by the looks on your faces, you do know something after all.
No! Paimon just meant...
I agree, it does. But considering that non-human races in Inazuma are...
Oh, and please read my... Sawada was... Oh!
Wait! You're allowed to just make...
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this. Besides, if there really was a political power struggle going on at...
Good point. Okay.
We have some other stuff to do, so we'll have to say...
All right, thank you.
Okay, then, even if we did know something about it, we probably couldn't share it with them, huh? After all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. Information about people. If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many as... Ah! Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like... the Balladeer! No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see.
I got carried.
Cut to the chase. More speed. Rack and ruin.
Becomes the hunted. Another test subject. I got killed.
Nowhere to hide.
The wrong test subject. I got killed.
Break a leg. Black fly. Rebuild.
Picked the wrong test subject. Take two to go!
Born of icy frost. Stand with me. Out of my way. This is long overdue.
Take two to go!
Written in the stars.
Just you wait!
Treasure is pretty exhilarating. Every little bit counts. I will lead us to victory.
Who's our target this time?
Lord Companions! Hooray!
adventurer.
Take it easy.
news. We just saw the balladeer strolling around in public. Did he escape or... Ah! It's him!
Sure enough. You're...
Hey! What are you doing in the sanctuary of Suristana? I know you must have a lot of questions. It was my idea to set the balladeer free. We made a deal. A deal?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Don't flatter yourself. It was... Nahida said there...
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong. There I was thinking you...
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. Could I ask you all to please But Paimon's worried about you, Nahida. Don't let him trick you.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment. Just...
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us! As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal. Even with the balladeer.
Well, I, for one, have no reason to doubt you. Considering you even struck a deal with...
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. You'll come to understand more about the balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to... Plus, he's a former harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could... Wait a second. Former? You mean, I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back a...
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. Certainly all the stable ones are. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events... Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my utility, I need to have a backup plan for myself.
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings, and you said you need protection. So...
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear, don't you? And they're your friends, so...
Yeah, obviously! Nahida, don't listen. Let's put that discussion to the side for now. We still have time. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate.
All right, then I'll do...
Good. Go now, and keep in touch. Nahida, are you Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, I'm largely Yes. As I told you once before, there's information about your twin in Irminsul. Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the whole reason we came to see you today. So, you have an update on that? Mm-hmm. You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included your twin's details in the Descender category. This is an extremely important point. It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, some traces of it, the amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. Sifting through all of it without knowing what... So I asked the balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. Exactly! Or what if... I understand. But sometimes, everything is dictated by which side you're on. How things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. And Traveler, our minds have connected several times before. There is a corner of your heart reserved for an intense longing. As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the balladeer. But as someone who... If this deal with the balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, then it's worth it. It's my pleasure, really. You're Sumeru's hero. You've more than... Paimon's still worried about this idea. Is there... I was going to contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. Seems like we have a telepathic connection. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the balladeer on my behalf while he carries out the task. Even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former harbinger. Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul from the outside.
Great. Prepare yourselves. I'm going to...
Wow, it looks pretty different here compared to last time. The colors are gentler. Guess that must be because Sumeru's at peace now.
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company.
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets to be so smug!
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards. But right now...
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost unlike anywhere else. Irminsol's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. I know there are many grievances between you, on both sides, but it is essential that you remain calm after entry.
Fine. Let's call it truce. But
let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are gonna be traveling. Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. All you have to do is keep your pretty eyes open and try not to fall behind.
You sure are confident. Paimon will give you that. You make it sound like you're even more experienced at adventuring than us.
If there are no further objections, or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh, the snark on this guy. It's
We can start.
Irminsol access granted.
Is this a small sapling? Ugh! Darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him. Wow. So this is the inside of Ooh. Paimon's never seen anything like this.
Irminsol is closely intertwined with the entirety of Teyvat. Every bit of information flowing here means something. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he says?
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart of Irminsol.
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsol is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Permission granted. Go ahead.
Let's go. Stay close. Don't go running off.
Hey, so... say we did go running off in here. What would...
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face. Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you want to stay safe, your best option...
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsol. Be careful not to touch them.
It looks the same in every direction. No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little? We're here.
What a huge tree!
Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Good, you made it. Are you ready?
Ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents.
The Balladeer's actually doing what Nahida tells him. Guess he must want to stay alive.
The rest is up to you. If you discover anything...
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're the ones with nothing to do.
Traveler, Paimon, would you like to talk? Yes, I've also invited
Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads?
That's part of it.
Paimon's never tried this, so Paimon's been...
As I've told you before, perhaps today will be the day that he finds... Well done. So, you made contact with that part of his mind. Well,
Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out,
Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the electric...
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the...
If you mean the mysterious events,
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's...
Oh? How interesting. Those two managed to deduce quite a lot through guesswork alone.
So the Gese got it right?
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
What makes you think we're talking to each other?
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
So,
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
Wait! How did you know about...
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you. Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. And making cordial conversation is something I can manage. Huh? Wait.
This light. It looks similar to those saplings. What could it be?
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement. You have to share it with us.
Shh. Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatarasuna's furnace, after all. It may not pay to act...
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so? Well, since you insist.
It's...
Whoa!
I have been in Tatarasuna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mika. Under your leadership, Tatarasuna is a warm, welcoming place. Like a giant... As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. As for Tatarasuna, the forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material has since flourished, giving rise to generations of swordsmiths. Skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose between steel and blade. That is why you accepted the proposal.
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, the two of you never would have joined forces. You allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. He sold it to me. Even now, You remain one of Tatara Suna's key consultants, working right here alongside us. I believe it is you, sir.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in the forging industry of Inazuma.
So you say, Escher. But is this really the truth?
My goods.
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected. Because I didn't want to speculate. And I didn't want to believe that things could turn out. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue and casualties are up and continuing to rise at an alarming rate. And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that None of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mona, but that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does. Otherwise, why would you still be
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely you, Escher. But Mr. Mikoshi is more cautious than I. He does things by the book.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torichio, the yokai struck down by the Shogun's own hand.
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for a mechanic all the way from Fontaine. Are you sure you're not a little overqualified?
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat? Sadly, I am so very attached to my craft.
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside. Probably to my death.
Judging from the look in your eyes, you don't seem to trust me.
Drop the act. We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like your plan to destroy Tatara Suna has worked. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment. A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
You...
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well, at least for the first few days. It's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that Escher was an alias, and that and yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity.
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside.
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person.
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out.
It's no trouble at all. Patience is of... If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui Harbinger.
The Fatui? Who?
Just to create a minor inconvenience for your name.
That's it. That's...
Look how even the righteous soul is filled with venom when my device functions precisely as you say. It is the only chance you have of preventing a catastrophe and keeping the truth from the outside world. However, it is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in to your fury. I want to see what happens when a malevolent heart is placed into an Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by...
He has nothing to prove to anyone.
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel a little guilty. Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an easy target. I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human, Mr. Niwa? Already Jester, I have completed the task you gave me, creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. What fun it was. I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade. And if...
Hey, are you alright?
Dottore. Good. Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn into a mechanic? But why did we see things from his perspective?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit...
Maybe so, but it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the You know very well what that means. Even more so than I.
Let's give him some space.
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
I'm still confused about the Tatarasuna incident. So, the doctor was behind it, but why has that gotten him so worked up?
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural that you find it difficult to understand, so now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the kabuki mono to live with the people of Tatarasuna. Later, the doctor showed up, disguised that it was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, after the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the balladeer. Then, he instructed him to enter the furnace and absorb all the filth caused by the smelting process. The load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer, the mechanic, answered. Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he let the mechanic remove the withered heart. The balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed with anger and sorrow...
Holy moly! So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything on the...
Yes. Only if he understands this can he choose...
Dottore, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, are you investigating the stuff we want to know?
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not...
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. The reason why there are records about your brother in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was his first destination when he arrived in this world. Plus, he only came to this world because the heavens responded to the
heavens...
The jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your brother for a time. I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe me. Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes. Astonishing news.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul.
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Huh? What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I can't sustain this shield for very long. I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me. Give me your hand. Can you hear my voice inside your head? No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, all I can do is exchange a few words with you. So tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past? Done.
Huh? What the? What happened? Paimon only saw you hold hands for a second.
Nothing. I was just thanking her for helping me. So long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist. Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve it.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't do anything stupid!
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. And I enjoy nothing more than to stamp them out but if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily, everything can be set right. It's time to solve this once and for all.
Balladeer! Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared. Come on, we gotta find him somehow. Oh no, he's really gone.
Oh.
Nihida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened just now? I was suddenly caught up.
It was the Balladeer's fault. He...
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or...
Where the heck did he go? Ugh, it's all our fault.
Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, let me handle this from here. We're running out of time. Follow my lead and get out of Irminsul as soon as possible.
We're out! And we're at... an inn or something?
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you. I'm sorry, but...
An emergency? How bad is it?
Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbances...
Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. What do you think about... He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible! Right! You can't just rewrite history! All that stuff happened already in real life! It's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no one was there to see it, Paimon would sure as heck remember drinking it. So, why does Paimon still have a bad feeling about this? Paimon... Ah! Sorry. Paimon accidentally... But erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in Irminsul? Uh-oh. Paimon's head is overheating from trying to understand what he's up to. And it... Paimon's had it with that little brat. He's been nothing but trouble ever since we met him. There's no way he'll actually succeed, right? Otherwise, won't everyone who's connected to him be affected too? There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on what we should do next? Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But Paimon's still so worried. Paimon won't be able to sleep a wink tonight. So, how about, we list all our favorite foods to take our mind? Alright, Paimon will start. First dish. Munstack grilled fish. Oh, and chicken mushroom skewers. Tea break pancakes. Cream stew. Sauteed matsutake. And Dragon chili chicken. Almond tofu. Satisfying salad. Oh, also Adeptus Temptation. Golden shrimp. What was Paimon supposed to be doing just now? Paimon was, talking? Huh. Paimon suddenly can't remember what she was talking about. What was it again? Is that a food? What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something Paimon said? So, the Balladeer. Is that someone's name? Okay, sure. Where are we going? Huh? Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay? You're acting like this is an emergency.
Ah, it's been a while. Of course. Go ahead. Oh, now there's a question I wasn't expecting. Very well, I'll tell you what I know once more. The once renowned Raiden Gokuden, comprised of 5 branches: Amenoma, Futsu, Ishin, Hyakume, and Senju. The art of forging practiced by these 5 clans was first taught to them personally by the almighty. Most of the great swordsmith clans of old have since fallen into decline, and for a long time, only the Amenoma branch kept its art alive. But fortunately, Kaedehara Kazuha recently returned to Inazuma and took up the mantle of the Ishin art. Now, 2 clans remain of the original Gokuden 5. If my memory serves me right, you yourself were present when he forged the Ishin blade.
Oh, yeah, we were! Paimon remembers that now. We learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuden then, too. It seems like such a shame.
That, my friends, is a tragic tale indeed. In fact, this was not made known to me for most of my life. All these years, I knew of those great clans' demise, but never the cause. Only recently, when the question was on my mind, did I ask Kaedehara Kazuha about this. He told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of the Raiden Gokuden, it was right that I should know the truth. There is no harm in telling you, but I must warn you. It is a dark and sorrowful tale. The Raiden Gokuden were the targets of a murderous rampage by a vengeful bladesmith.
Vengeful? Why?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace. One brave swordsmith, Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day, and overseeing it was the armory officer. His surname was Niwa, though he had family ties to the Kaedehara clan. Knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives, Mr. Niwa, the smith's death, though heroic, dealt it in his heart. The whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy. He hated the almighty shogun for her apparent indifference towards his father's death, and he hated powerless and destitute. The only legacy he had to pass on to his children was his hatred. Generation after generation bore this grudge, living in utter alas. Finally, in his fury, but when he came, that is why the
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Kazuha? My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. There are other places. On to the next step.
Traveler, it's been a while. If you're looking for the Commissioner and Miss
Are they out on business?
The Commissioner is out on business.
What do you think? Shall we go in?
If it were anyone else, I couldn't allow it.
We'll be heading in then. Thanks!
Hmm? Hello, dears. Is there something you want to say? Of course, Trap. What would you like to know? Oh, they're both very well indeed. Lately, Miss Kamisato has been rather busy attending all kinds of meetings, and the king, as for the
So pretty.
very much so.
Well, got any more questions?
You're very welcome. In fact, I would love nothing more than for Miss Kamisato talks about you all the time. She seems so thrilled to have you as a friend, and she's always saying how talented you are and how much she admires you. I must say, many things in Inazuma. I mean it. Whenever the commissioner dines at home, the commissioner, they say it's because Toma's a much better chef than most. Oh, the commissioner is so fond of home comforts. They get to talking about you sometimes, too, you know. Miss Kamisato occasionally joins them as well. Whenever it's been many years now since, as someone who is old and gray enough to have walked, so in the future, wonderful.
Paimon likes it here too. Also, Paimon's itching to try it. We may just have to invite ourselves around for dinner sometime.
Of course, you're all.
All right, goodbye for now. We're great. Goodbye, ma'am. Don't worry, we'll see ourselves.
All right then.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Yep, everything's taken care of.
Very well. Safe travels. Goodbye.
thing? Or some...
Do my eyes deceive me, or is that...
Xavier? What are you doing here?
I was in the general area, and now
We have some questions and thought you might be able to help.
Certainly do. I've researched the furnace here in some depth. If there's anything you want to know, just ask away. Like the back of my hand. Meg, not only that, but I've met people in Inazuma whose families used to... Oh, well, it's a long story. I'm told that its history is one of the most foremost forging and smelting operations in the nation. Goes back around...
A couple? When exactly?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several hundred years ago. A fun fact, I'm not the first Fontaine. They say he was a mechanic who consulted on a technology upgrade. Seems like the technological collaboration between our two nations goes back a long way. How about that?
Hey, weren't you gonna ask Xavier something about Tatara Suna? Come on!
Oh, I didn't realize you two were here for a history lesson.
Me neither. Paimon doesn't know what's gotten into this one today. Feels like we've been preparing for a history exam.
What brought this on? Did you just wake up today with a sudden burning desire for historical knowledge? Sure, go ahead. A kabuki mono? I do know the word. Inazuman for those eccentric types who always go around dressed to the... But sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor have I come across anything... Of course! Don't mention it.
Oh, we're leaving? Okay, bye, Xavier.
Oh, you're most welcome. More than happy to help. Farewell.
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for. Sure, but what's up with you today? Whatever it is, it seems like it's really trouble. Keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. No matter what happens, Paimon will... Oh, come on. You gotta keep it together. Why don't you grab something to eat? All right, let's head off and go meet Nahida.
Hey, it's them!
Akaba, Sawada, you're still here?
Indeed we are. If you have a moment, we'd love for you to join us once more.
We have time.
It's the same topic we discussed last time. Obviously.
Still looking for more info about Tatarasuna, huh? Should we join them?
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress. Huh? Oh, of course.
I presume you'll want to read mine as well?
Well, what do you think?
Hey, Traveler. Remember how last time Akaba was saying how he wished he could gather more information about all this? Well, we just got back from Inazuma. So how about we tell them what we learned?
What did you find out? Something big?
It's a long story. Basically, we have some friends in Inazuma, and...
Wow, so many new details. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Well, well. So it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh. You heard this from a member of the Amanoma clan, you say? Then I guess it must be true. Ugh. So there's no ghost story here after all.
This new information actually lends further credence to my hypothesis. Evidently, swordsmiths were seen as having an incredibly prestigious role in society those days, to the extent that harming them was conceived of, at least by the perpetrator, as a way of exacting revenge against those in power.
Yes, okay, point taken, you were right. But that doesn't mean I can't carry on with my novel.
And they're back at it. These guys are really into this.
Oh, so sorry. Look at us, prattling on about our projects and ignoring you. Thank you.
You're welcome. See ya.
Keep us in the loop if you find out anything else.
Will do.
Traveler, Paimon, how have you been?
Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time. That night, we ended up chatting and
The Balladeer? It sounds like some kind of code name. You look troubled. Is there something you need to tell me? Traveler?
Hey, what's wrong? You look so upset.
That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the Balladeer erased himself from Irminsul, hoping that he could change the past.
But how was he even able to do that?
As the Traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. I don't recall finding anyone inside the machine after we defeated it. Nevertheless, it...
So, you believe this person really existed?
Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to do this. The Traveler comes from a world beyond Tevat. That's why there's no information about her in Irminsul. And so if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past that has been rewritten, it's you.
Paimon's having a hard time understanding this Balladeer guy's...
I can only make inferences based on the... Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share? It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died. Once the Balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed his view of the people of Tatarasuna. Now he saw them as friends again. He couldn't keep hating humans after that. And if he thought that the story makes sense, the Balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the Doctor's help. He was unsuccessful. That power then enabled him to change what was recorded in her...
Yeah, it just feels so hopeless.
Please wait a moment. Found it. This should be the one. It turns out that I have a strange way of...
What is it?
A record from a personal collection. It was tucked... You should take a look.
Is this a fairy tale?
I authored this record myself.
Huh? You wrote a...
When combined with the Traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory.
Hold on. So this record survived from...
Yes. Any information about the Balladeer or the Kabuki Mono and other records will have been changing the information in Irminsul changes to that. But Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. That's incredible! And sending the traveler into Irminsul with the balladeer must have been... This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information recorded in Irminsul. But if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one she told us. There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. The monster lived with the family day and night, and everyone treated it as one of their own. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity, yet they are too foolish to see it. I pity them. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender. Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire spread. A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest among us." Shh. The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered. The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one." The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kitten spent the nights wandering aimlessly, how it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. If the world... I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes, and cats in the...
We solved it!
I remember now. This is not just the balladeer story. It is his wish to become a god. He was experimented on and modified countless times. This memory was extracted from him. Creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to... I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams. And then...
It's hard to believe that this person really existed, let alone that he tried to get rid of us. Paimon has no memory of him at all. He completely vanished like a puff of...
The balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the Descenders. And although he was unsuccessful before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail. That Conria was where your twin first came into this world. We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but in all likelihood, they won't even remember their own...
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy.
This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. So the answer is not everything. People yearn to find the truth. When you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to choose to others looking on. This may seem like a pointless endeavor, but for him, never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds, and that is what you have been doing all along.
Yeah, Mihida's right. Cheer up. How about...
Good idea. Paimon, why don't you take her out for a...
You got it. Come on, traveler. You need to get out of your head for a while. You'll feel... Let's go get a snack from one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar. That'll be sure to lift our spirits. It must be really tough being the only one who remembers all that. But Paimon's always here to help cheer you up.
Wait, hear me. Right here, right now. Emerge. Are you? Quietly now. By ordinance divine, obey! The more, the merrier. Look at me. Just once more.
This realm is... If you ever...